High Country Adventures, presented this week by Creative Printing and Internet Services, Appalachian Enterprise Center, helping businesses reach new heights, TSUGA Canopies, where there's sun, there's TSUGA, Black Apparita, healthy fast food, River and Earth Adventures, raftcavehike.com, Blowing Rock Ale, a beer drinker's pleasure, Footsloggers, your outdoor gear provider for 35 years, Reed's Cafe and Catering, who knew lunch could be this good, and MISTY Mountain Threadworks, crash mats and harnesses made locally. Up next, we take you to Damascus, Virginia, and catch up with Wes Stanforth about his recent thru hike of the Appalachian Trail.
Hi, my name is Wes Stanforth. I just completed a thru hike of the Appalachian Trail. My hike started February 26th and ended on Mount Katahdin in Maine, July 17th. My average was about 18 miles per day while hiking the AT. My basic backpack for the full load of 3 days worth of food was about 14 pounds. When you think of, they used to carry 50+ pound packs with their big leather boots. It's pretty light and pretty fast and allows you to do bigger miles in consecutive days. A few of my items that I hauled on my Appalachian Trail journey. My pack is pretty small, not much going on there. It's a Go-Light Jam is what it's called. It's a frameless pack. There's no stays or anything built into it. Helps keep the weight down. The pack itself empty is 1 pound 6 ounces, which is a good base to start with. Start building your ultralight gear from. This is basically my full pack of gear minus food. So we're looking at about probably 11.5 pounds of gear right now, which is pretty good. Okay, so some of the gear I carried while hiking on my trail. Tent was one thing that I carried for probably 2/3 of the journey. Most of the time I did not. I stayed in shelters, but when the bugs were bad up north, I went and got a, it's called a Henry Shire tarp tent. It's a 2 pound fully enclosed mesh tent that you use your trekking poles to set it up. 34 ounces is pretty light for a 2-man tent. It's a really nice thing. My most important piece of gear is my Thermarest sleeping pad. A lot of guys out there who go ultralight don't carry a nice inflatable sleeping pad, but for me, getting a good night's sleep is very important when hiking a lot of miles. So Thermarest, very, very nice thing. One of the key components to keeping my carbon footprint down was my electronics devices. I figured I didn't want to charge every time I went into town, so I charged my cell phone and my iPod for the trip off a solar charger, Solio solar charger, which gave me enough energy to put full charges into my cell phone and my iPod, so I could keep in touch with my friends and family and jam while I went down the trail. Rain jacket, pretty simple. Arc'teryx Gore-Tex, works real well. It's kind of heavy. Most of the time, actually, I used a Dry Ducks rain jacket, which tore, so this is all I have right now. And one of the other things to keeping my weight pretty light was my cooking system. A lot of thru hikers use alcohol stoves. And it's a good way to cut a lot of weight because all you need is a can and you poke holes in it and set your pot on top of it and you can cook warm meals with very little effort and very little weight. I had a silk sleeping bag for warm nights. As the temperature got warmer, I went to sleeping in the silk bag a lot. and a pair of rain pants, which was only used in the northern section when the black flies and mosquitoes were really bad in Maine. I didn't even use it for most of the trip. And that's pretty much all my gear. Very simple, very little. In the southern section here, from Smokies to Watauga Lake, which is our backyard out of Boone, it was kind of a challenge through there to be able to push big miles. We wanted to test ourselves from Watauga Lake to Damascus, which is our drive from Boone. We tried to do 2 25-mile days back to back from Watauga Lake to downtown Damascus, and that was a pretty big moment to see if we could do 50 miles in 2 days. And I succeeded at doing it, and it was kind of the sign that I was probably going to be able to finish the trail, even though it was really early on in the whole experience. For the Appalachian Trail, there's about an average of 17 to 20% completion rate. This year they said will be a lower end because of the amount of rainfall that was through the spring. A lot of people quit, and they're saying it'll be like a 15 to 17% completion rate for 2009.
How does that make you feel when you kind of think of all those people that didn't make it and you're one of the few that did?
It makes me feel real good. It's a hard challenge, and it was a life challenge and a wonderful, wonderful experience.